We're going from here to here using this truck in 36 hours. We had to get 3 40x40 tents for 3 events. You guys, so we just got to Celina, me and Eddie. We drove this 16 hours. While there, we got to talk to the owner of Celina Tents. All the way over here. We're here in Celina, and it's a big building back there. You can get stuff. We're gonna see what we can do. Maybe we can get a tour or something.
Well, the last time we came, which was like, was that 3 years ago or something like that? It wasn't this big. They didn't have this front part.
We've been buying from Celina for over 4 years now. We recently bought a tent in 2019. We bought 120x20 at first. They sent us 2 of them.
For the cost and for the profitability, we go with Celina just because we can make a higher profit faster.
And our first free tent from them.
But I'm not saying anything wrong with the other tents, but if they want to send us some stuff, we'll test it out and see what it's got. But.
And tour their warehouse facilities while they're doubling in size. So they have basically 4 different buildings. They have a building that they do for actually setting up and storing everything. So that's their major warehouse. I think that was like 120,000 square feet. They had a brand new building that they just built, was another 120 to 140. I forgot exactly what she said. And then then they have 2 other buildings on there that are each about 70 to 80,000 square feet. So basically, just like you said, just everything, just bundling everything together. So there's like,
yeah. When we get an order, they pick everything out and they put in those containers, pack it in the containers.
Okay.
We got a pattern how it goes in. Everything goes in a certain place.
So these are the picked parts, and then they'll take them down there to put them in a package and then get them ready.
Yep.
And then then you put them in the crates and then ship them out. And also too, they have a Kmart that they rented out. Old Kmart, that's 140,000 square feet that they rent out, and that's where they fabricate and stitch their tents together.
The vinyl's cut. We got vinyl cutters over there. They've got those parts cut, and they'll send them to St. Mary's, and then they'll come back as a tent. What we did, we ran out of space, so we rent an old Kmart over at St. Mary's, and then these parts, we take the materials over there, and they put it together over there, and they send it back. So now we're building this new building.
Oh, that's the new one you're going to
yeah. They're going to come back here. So we're going to have everything in one place.
Okay. I didn't know HP made printers like that. And both of these that's so cool. So Celina started off as a rental company. I forgot, it was like, they've been in business for almost 30-something years. So they started as a rental company, and then eventually they ran into issues where they couldn't get tents supplied to them. So the owners, which is the one that was centering us around, she started stitching the tents together in her basement and putting them together.
We would always get the rental before we had the tent, because we'd think, oh, we can do that. And then nobody had tents, so we decided, we'll make our own tents.
And then eventually they kept growing as a rental company, and they ended up growing as a tent company, and they came to divergence, and they decided to just go all in on selling tents. So they ended up selling off their rental to a company nearby. That's
cool. It was pretty hard to get out of the basement, but we made it.
What year did you close down the rentals?
2006. We were trying to sell tents to people, and then people would say, why should we buy a tent from you? You could rent it too. We were kind of competing with the people we were selling.
Yeah.
And we thought, we'll do, and you can't do them both good.
Yeah.
So we had to decide which one to do.
And a good thing about Celina, since they already been in the tent game, that they already understand how it works. They build stuff specifically that's built for us and by people who actually done tents before. Even like some of the little small details I realized on like the pole tents. Just make sure you have the metal rings in the right places. Thick, heavy-duty products that can take up and last the test of time. This is huge.
It's huge. It's tall.
Yeah.
Really tall.
Yeah. Well, you chose the right business. I like it.
Well, there were times when we thought, oh my, this might take us under.
So Celina offered 2 variations of tents. 2 main categories. Your commercial event tents, from pole tents to high peaks to frame tents, and kind of like in gable tents as well. But also too, they offer military grade tents as well.
So when you were first making it, did someone approach you like from the government to get the contract, or it was like you just seen something like, and we gotta help out?
We had a gentleman from Georgia come up, and they made the humanitarian tent. It was 16 by 16. It's like a frame tent type. And they said the military needed those. So we made those, and we got a contract on those. And that was our first contract. And after that, word of mouth, just...
They offer military grade tents and aircraft tents where you can put mini drones in there that are the sizes of buses.
This is the very first one that was sold. Oh, I like the welcome screen. How much square space is this? Like, something like that. It's a lot.
My favorite tent is the 20 by 20 high peak tent by far. Goes out the most, is the best. Since they were already an event rental company, they already knew a lot of the understandings of how tents and rentals and everything works. So when they're building these products out, they're able to build products that are specifically for our needs. So it really works out great for us because some of the tent stuff we bought in the past from different places, they might not have had and utilized metal inside of some of the tents that we see in Celina that they're using. Also to the quality versus the cost is really high, and it's hard to compare against most other places. And the biggest thing they do, for us at least, is that you can go pick the stuff up in a couple of days, or you can get it delivered out in the same week. So we went to the actual facility. We went here about 2.5 years ago, and there was only like 2 buildings. And then we got here, it's like 4 buildings, and they built the 5th building over here, the headquarters, and like just the whole space is just so much bigger now. We've seen the operations is growing across the whole team. They have up to 75 employees now when we talk to her. And just the whole aspects of having all these employees doing all these things really show that they're growing and innovating inside the tent industry. We were ringing on the doorbell, and then on there it said that there's 5 names to call. So we called every single person on there. Then the last person on there we called and happens to be the owner. And we're like, oh snap, this is cool. And they said they'll walk us on a tour and everything. So one thing I liked about her is that she was very down to earth. She's obviously been in the whole thing of running the business for a long period of time. Very relatable, and just some of the struggles that she told us that they went through it early on, just like not knowing when they were going to make it, not knowing if what they were doing was right, and how they got the contracts. A lot of the military contracts they got, and how they went through and getting that, and how the family's all inside of it. Her son works there, and her daughter also works there. My son is the CEO, and her daughter is the head of sales. And then they even put together their new website and everything, which I'm a big software guy, and we were talking about that. Just like all the stuff they use, how they do their phone calls, they use Twilio, and kind of going through the whole thing. It was really interesting just to see that they're just like us. And she even explained a lot of different things. Like most people see all this and then they think they're crazy and everything. They're all rich and everything. But she's just like everybody else, and she's just trying to grow a business that people care about. So as I'm getting wet for you guys right now, when we were at Celina, we were supposed to pick up the tents at 1 o'clock. The boss ended up allowing us to get in about 2 hours early so we can pick the tents up. So soon we finished the tour, she brought us to the stuff to get it all set up and everything. And that's when Eddie set it up in the truck and we put it all in the pickup. And it was really kind of cool to see just 3 4x40s go in the pickup truck in a pole tent. Because you can't really do that with a frame tent at all.
We just got done with a tour here at Celina in Ohio. They just loaded us up with 3 40x40 pole tents. It's nice and neat. We have stakes as well. We have all the ratchet assemblies, everything good to go. We just wanted to show everybody that it's possible to use a regular pickup truck and load up everything. We also got extra pieces for our pinnacles, which are the high peak tents. So a lot of stuff on here. Definitely can do it. They offer customer pickup here. They also do delivery if you want to make the trip. Really cool people. We actually met the owner of the location and just showing us around the growth of the company and just overall everything that's going on. Really like it. I know a couple times we've mentioned their names, and this is the reason why we buy from them. But yeah, we're gonna head back to Texas now and take the stuff to the warehouse.